Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.
Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. What an honor and privilege it is to be before you all for yet another live stream night here on the Debt Demolisher TV as we continue our conversations as we read inside of The Dream Chaser by none other than Mr. Tony Gaskins. I am honored to be before you all tonight on this Monday, Motivating Millionaires Monday night. So shout out to Coach Harut for giving us the theme of the day. I just need to make, okay, yes, we're working. I just had to make sure that we were working. I had to make sure that we were working. But shout out to Coach Harut for giving us our theme for the day. Motivating Millionaires Monday. I'm excited to be before you all tomorrow. It's a very special day because we have a birthday that we have to celebrate in the biggest way. But I am honored to be before you all this evening. Please forgive me for a little bit of the delayed start, but I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have any technology challenges today. Well, first in the room, we had Q Scott says, Happy Motivated Millionaires Monday. Happy Motivated Millionaires Monday, Q Scott. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Hey, I said, hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Let's go. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Let's go. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Pass it to Bria. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Pass it to Bria. Oh, so glad that you're in the room, Q Scott. Welcome. We also have Acacia in the room. She says, greetings, DDTV family. Greetings, Acacia. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Let's go. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Let's go. Acacia got a birthday tomorrow, you guys. Acacia has a birthday tomorrow, so I am praying that you all will make it with us inside of the room tomorrow so that we can have a good old party and celebration for our very own DDTV moderator, Acacia, in the room. So shout out to both Acacia and Q Scott for holding it down and moderating our channel and keeping us all the way together. Always. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all so much. We also have Queen Lisa H in the room, says greetings everyone, and she came in the room with the takeoff stand. I said Queen Lisa H got the takeoff stand. She got the takeoff stand. I said Queen Lisa H got the takeoff stand. She ready to go. Let's go. She trained to go. Let's go. She got the takeoff stand. I said Queen Lisa H got the takeoff stand. Let's go, Queen Lisa H. So good to see you. Welcome on into the room. We missed you yesterday, but we knew that you weren't going to be able to make it to our live stream, but I saw that you caught the replay. So welcome. I'm so glad that you're in the room. Let's go. Q Scott says, drum roll. We'll be celebrating Acacia's birthday tomorrow. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Come on. Q Scott got her jingles stamp going on because she heard her song. Let's go. She got the jingles going on. Thank you for putting that in the chat. We also got Tracy Ann in the room, says, hey, DDTV fam. Happy Motivated Millionaires Monday. She also got the takeoff stand because you know why, Tracy Ann? You slid it right in the bank. You slid it right in the bank. Hey, all the way from the what? West side stand all the way up because Tracy Ann is representing for the West Coast. That's what I'm talking about. Tracy Ann. Let's go. We also got Sherry in the room, says, hey, y'all. Hey, Sherry, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here on this day. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. It's the income, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Hey, let's go, Sherry. I'm so glad to see you. And I loved your comment that you made the other day. I meant to screenshot it and pull it up, but it was so good when you talked about your takeaway and one of the things that you realized and the revelation that you had. So it was so powerful. So thank you as well for putting your feedback and putting your comments and your takeaways as it relates to these discussions. I love seeing those. So yes, Sherry, let's go. Stay in the work, Sherry. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Tracy Ann, it says, hey, Lisa H. Hello, mighty moderators. That's right. She is shouting out our mighty moderators, and she is shouting out Queen Lisa H. Come on, y'all. Welcome to day 8. As Q Scott so eloquently put, thank you. Welcome to day 8 of our discussion as we begin to read our assigned readings for today related to the Dream Chaser. So I think y'all ready to get into the conversation. That's what I think. I think y'all ready to get into the conversation. So today's reading assignment was extremely powerful. So on the community page on the Debt Demolisher TV, I announced what the reading assignment would be, as well as I announced it yesterday during last night's live stream. But on the community post, 9 a.m., roughly 9 a.m., it went up at 9 a.m. today. Our reading assignment was to read pages 67 through 75 of the book. So our reading would have allowed us to finish reading chapter 6 and begin reading chapter 7 of the Dream Chaser. If you guys have not picked up the Dream Chaser yet, if you're just tuning in and you just landed on this live stream, you've landed in the right space, and there's still time for you to catch up. Grab your copy of Mr. Tony Gaskins' The Dream Chaser book and join us each and every night during the month of August in honor of National Black Business Month. So we are picking up our readings once again, and we have been taking the Dream Chaser book 8 to 9 pages at a time. We are now on day 8, whereby we are concluding our readings for chapter 6 and beginning chapter 7. So yesterday we talked about balancing the dream and the job. And today's conversation is going to pick up where we left off, because Q Scott asked about the Wachovia. She was like, hold on, you want to talk about the Wachovia? We're going to talk about the Wachovia story today. But given that, we're going to be really tapping into that space of looking at the connection between balancing the dream and the job and getting to the space of entrepreneurship in real life. So one of the things that I appreciated about the story time inside of inside of this book and inside of our assigned readings is that, you know, Mr. Gaskins, he really has a way of painting a clear picture so that we can really almost like be in the room of what he was seeing, what he was hearing, what he was experiencing, and just really taking us behind the scenes so that we can visualize that same thing that we're reading inside of the chapter. But as we went into the space of page 67, he talks about how he got his first royalty check. He talked about how much he had to find patience in the process of balancing the dream with the job. There were so many nuggets in here, and I think there was one page where I just circled the whole section, and I said I just need to read through this each and every day, and we're going to go over that. But on page 67, Tony Gaskins says, that's when my balance started to kick in. Let me bounce back. He said, I knew then that she believed in me. He's referring to his wife, Mrs. Cherie Gaskins. He says that I knew then that she believed in me, and that's when she would stick by me through thick and thin. And this was prior to them being married. But he said, that's when my balance started to kick in. He said, I had to find some patience in the process. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. How many of us find it challenging to be patient? Sometimes we can want things right now. Sometimes we can want a solution right in the moment. Sometimes we can want that breakthrough right now, but we have to be patient in the process. He says that it was one of the hardest things he ever had to do. And he began to talk about where they were living at the time. He talked about where they grew up. They started to think about his wife's childhood, his childhood, and the difference that they wanted to make in terms of living a better life. He said how they couldn't afford any living room furniture. He talked about how they had a $99 bed, how they had a 19-inch box TV, how they had cheap dressers, and they barely had a crib for their first child, and just remember eating off of the dollar menu at Wendy's. All of these things. He said he would get paid because he knew that his wife would leave him if he chose the route of an illegal or dishonest living. So Cherie Gaskins was a real one. She was like, I don't care what we got to go through, but what you not going to do and be with me is do something illegal. I would rather have a honest spouse earning an honest living than the quick and fast scheming non-legal activities to be involved in. So she really put her foot down, and she didn't allow it to settle, even though they were having hard times, even though they were down and out, even though they didn't have the financial resources or the backing and everything else. She was like, no, if that's what you want to do, I'm out. And Tony Gaskins knew that he needed her. He knew she left me before. She gonna leave me again. That's gonna be it if I try to do something stupid. So we just gonna have to make it work. Ain't that the title of his book? Yeah, Make It Work. That's another one of Tony Gaskins' book, Make It Work. But he says that he would get paid, pay all of the bills. He said they had about $25 left to their name. He said that my wife had a way of staggering the bills so that we could afford to live. We would pay for things right before they got turned off. He said that they actually made a mistake a time or two in the bill staggering technique and got the lights turned off. He said that he had a Wachovia bank account back then that would let him go $400 in the negative. He said so they lived out of that for a while, that $400 every time for a while. He says, I think that is why Wachovia is out of business, because I guess they did that for so many other people. He said it could have just been the hand of God trying to work favor to allow that to be able to happen. But he said that my wife thought that I had money put away, but what she didn't know was that Wachovia would let me withdraw $100 out of the bank, even if it wasn't in my account. He says, I don't know if they actually did it on purpose or if it was God who rigged the account. He says, I'll have to ask somebody who works for Wachovia, because he remembers the one time that the power got turned off and so forth. So if anybody knows anybody that works for Wachovia, anybody that knows anybody that works for a bank, I'm curious to know how that works. I'm curious to know how that works. I'm pretty sure they was hitting him with insufficient funds fees like crazy. So that's probably one of the reasons why. That's the Wachovia story that Keith Scott wanted us to talk about yesterday. But it's true. And that's a prime example of not even how financial situations and hardships can happen when we are trying to get in the entrepreneurship space. It could even happen when we're doing our 9-to-5. That very same scenario, people who have an everyday living do the same thing, as well as even those who may be new inside of their entrepreneurship journey and getting that started. He says further down on page 68, I've seen men leave their job to be an entrepreneur and put their family in a bind, but I couldn't do that. I've seen men quit their job and make their wife work, but I couldn't do that either. My wife just wanted me to be happy. She was supporting me and pushing me and encouraging me. I made some stupid mistakes as a young man, but as long as I was willing to get back up and get back on the right path, she was going to be by my side. I thought that was so powerful, not only because of the fact that he had that assurance to know that he had a support, a genuine support, and not a support that is based off of what you do or don't have in the moment. Because we know some people stick around just because of what you have. Some people want to be attached to you because of what you have or what they think you have. Come on, somebody. And we know that that is the truth. And we know that that's how sometimes people operate. But it's a whole nother feeling to know that somebody is willing to be down with you regardless, as long as your living is honest. As long as your living is honest. So I thought that that was powerful to hear. And this also reminded me of somewhat of the conversation that we talked about yesterday about leaving their job and putting their family in a bind. And how I mentioned that yesterday, people were saying to me before, this is prior to like when I first started my journey, and they were like, oh no, you should, when are you going to leave your job? I'm like, no time soon, because I know that I have responsibilities and I know that I needed to see evidence in order for me to be like, okay, now is the time, but now ain't the time. And especially now ain't the time. So I have to stretch out my timeline just a little bit more before I do that. And so this is the powerful piece, because Tony Gaskins really started to break this thing down. He talked about his hours. He said that he was working 70 to 80 hours a week. I would work 40 hours on their job and 30 to 40 hours on my job. He says they always had overtime and they would offer it to me, but I would tell them, no, thank you. I have my company I have to work for. He says that they didn't understand why I had such pride in my dreams. It didn't make sense to them. Of course, it's not going to make sense to them because it's not their vision. And it's not something that they've ever seen before. And it's not something that they think could actually be possible until they actually start to see the fruit. Then they're going to want to jump on the bandwagon. That happens too many times. He says that I was working my job for free, so it seemed, but I was laying the foundation and planting the seeds. I knew the harvest would come later. I was growing patient in the process. Tony Gaskins continues on by saying the vision started to become clearer and more clear. I was comforted by the fact that I knew my life wouldn't always be the same. That sentence in and of itself gave me peace to know that that's how you're going to know that you are comfortable, you are assured, and that you're going to make a difference and make a way out in whatever your dream is, or whatever your gift is, or whatever your passion is, or whatever it is that you're setting out to do. When you can get that level of peace, that level of assurance, that level of comfort, to know without a shadow of a doubt, without guessing that your life will or won't change, that's when you're going to know. He said that things were tight because life is expensive. I circled this part because I never heard it phrased that way. We all know that it costs money to live life. We all know that we have to spend money to survive. We all know that we live in a world of commerce. But when things are tight, things have been tight. Things are tight right now. Things are tight right now. I have to rework some things in my budget because of some changes that I had to make. But hearing on page 69 where Tony Gaskins says things were tight because life is expensive. How many of us have ever thought about that concept of life being expensive? It hit differently for me. He said that he realized that he couldn't leave his job because he needed the money and also he needed the insurance. And he said that he realized that he still needed to stay in his work and be patient, because even though he was putting 30 to 40 hours into his job, his business, his dream, his goal, that didn't mean that it was time enough for him to call it quits on the very thing that was keeping him stable. So that's also a reminder that I feel like a lot of us may need. I know it's a reminder that I feel like I need. Well, I'm not like in an urgent rush to like leave or quit or whatever, because I have responsibilities. So it's like years down the line. So it's like nothing like tomorrow or next year or 2 years. It's years down the line in terms of my thought. But again, the plans have to tie out. Like I have to have the evidence to really even be able to see that that's going to be able to happen. But there's always good to have a goal in mind, have the vision in mind, but continue to work and be honorable in what you're doing so that you don't take it for granted and it doesn't end up being jeopardized. So before we go on to page 70, because I'm ready to just talk about page 70, because page 70 was like lit. And I want to greet some more folks. Tracy Ann says, I love your hair. Thank you. I just took my bonnet off. I had my Styles by Lisa Smiles bonnet on. It's been holding up my curls, y'all. It's been holding it up. So shout out to Lisa Smiles, because I shown up, had my bonnet on. Let's go. Queen Lisa H got the jingle stamp going on. I love it. So is Sherry. I love it. Let's go. I can see his face, hear his voice, and I can feel all his gestures as I read this book. Yes, every single one of them. Was your huge circle possibly page 71? My biggest circle was 70. I literally circled the whole thing, and I put this in the margins. That whole thing. Wow, everything. Tears, everything. I'm getting ready to read it. It was powerful. But mine was on 70. 70 was the biggest circle. I circled some things on 71, but 70 was definitely game changer. I was tearing up. Acacia says, thank you for coming, kings and queens. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, join, and take notes. Thank you so much. Yes, you guys, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell if you're new to the channel, because it definitely certainly does help. And we would love to see you come back and join us each and every day for the month of August, as we go through our discussions of The Dream Chaser by Mr. Tony Gaskin. So make sure that you pick up your copy. Tracy Ann says that Sherry said, and my baby won't be visiting you in jail. Yes, she will not. She will not be visiting you in the pen. Absolutely. Thoughts of a Merry Christian is here. My brother Marcus is here. Hey, Marcus, so good to see you. The Shields are in the building. Welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. Let's go. Shout out to Thoughts of a Merry Christian. The Shields are in the room. Hi, Erica, if you're watching. So good to see you guys. If you're an Audible subscriber, looks like they have the audiobook for $0. Okay. If you want to get the Audible, better get in there for $1 for a penny. For zero if you can. Zero if you can. Let's go. Oh, that's my computer. I got to go back to work, y'all. I've been down there working. And Q Sky has also dropped the link to the book, The Dream Chaser, where you can pick it up. So thank you so much. I said a killer is in a room. No, I can't sing like her, but I'm gonna try to blow these tunes like her. Akila's in the room. So glad that you're here, Akila. Welcome on into this room. She says, anytime I go over, I get that insufficient funds fee. Never tried to get cash out though. Yes, indeed. Q Scott is saying hi to Marcus and the missus. You already know Mrs. Erica, the Shields in the building, and saying hello to Akila also. We got Queen Heart in the building. We got Queen Heart in the building. Where's she from? Straight from NY. Ain't that right? Okay. Straight from NY. Ain't that right? Let's go. We got Queen Heart in the building. Yes, we do. We got Queen Heart in the building. There she goes, straight from NY. Ain't that right? Straight from NY. Ain't that right? We have Queen Heart in the room. She also celebrated a birthday on August the 1st. So if you missed our birthday celebration to Queen Heart, feel free to go back to day one of our Dreams Chaser discussion so that you can catch all the parties. But feel free to wish Queen Heart a happy belated birthday if you didn't get a chance to celebrate us live on August the 1st. So shout out to Queen Heart. So glad that you're here. Welcome on into this room. Let's go. Let's go. Thoughts of a Married Christian says facts. Come on, Marcus. Let's go. Very powerful, genuine support. Come on, y'all. I hear it. I love it. I love it. Yep. And when they think they don't need you, the mask drops. Oh, Akila, you better come on with the word this evening. Come on with the word. Some support based on the progress level. Queen Heart, you better talk about it. You better talk about it. Acacia says, subscribe to Sophia's mailing list to stay up to date on financial exclusives. SophiaMelonē.com/subscribe. Thank you so much. The link is in the chat box if you want to check it out. So thank you so much. Acacia says, I did. Raise hand, Queen Heart. Okay. Patience and maturity is vital throughout the process and way easier said than done. It is way easier said than done. So maybe we can think about anything that we're going through, anything that we may have a rush for, anything that we may have a strong urge to want to get to. We can take this as a patience exercise, a patience training. Remember, we talked about everything that we go through in life is training ground. So anything that we feel like we have an eagerness to, we may feel it's not getting to the place where we, I guess, would perceive it to be or would like it to be. It's patience training, operations, patience training. That's what we're going to call it. The Dream Chaser and other books by Tony Gaskins can be purchased from Amazon or wherever books are sold. That is so right, you guys. Let's make sure that we pick up our copies of Mr. Tony Gaskins' book. Not only The Dream Chaser, we got Make It Work. We got A Woman's Influence. So many other books that Mr. Tony Gaskins has, and you can find it wherever books are sold on Amazon, as Q Scott so eloquently mentioned, and also dropping the links to the audiobook. Let's go. Let's go, Q Scott. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Much love and respect, Queen So-So. All right. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Thank you. Soon to be birthday girl, Acacia. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Acacia got a birthday coming up. So I'm so excited. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day. So mark your calendars to make sure that you come back tomorrow. Awesome. 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 So let's get into page 70, because this page was so powerful for me, because it was literally speaking to every inch of my being yesterday. And it served as such a healthy reminder of not only practicing patience, but also changing your perspective of how you look at things. So he said that he had done a lot of things. He had done a lot of stuff, but he realized it still wasn't ready for him or time for him to take the leap. It wasn't the time for him to leave his job just yet. He says it was this balancing act that prepared me for entrepreneurship. And that balancing act that he's referring to is dreaming and believing. Dreaming and believing. I think one of the things that could trip us up a lot of times is we could dream of something, but we may begin to lose the belief in it if we don't see any fruit or any evidence of that dream being manifested in a certain way, shape, or form, that we will continue to believe that it could actually come true. So when he said this, that dreaming and believing was the balancing act that had prepared him for entrepreneurship, I had to ask myself the question, how hard am I believing as much as I'm dreaming? Or vice versa. How hard am I believing over what I'm actually dreaming? Is that staying in line? Is that being in balance? He said that I had to learn how to be patient. Tony Gaskins says, I learned how to be hungry, but yet be content. He says, I learned how to have an honest grind. He said, I learned how to value sacrifice and hard work. And I learned how to dream bigger and more often. I had to pause here, because we can have dreams, but who's to say that the dream that we had 5 years ago is still sufficient for the dream or the time that you're in right now? because your dream 5 years ago just might be too small. It just might be too small. It just might be too small. So he says, I learned who and who not to share my dreams with. Ooh, that was so good. Because sometimes we speak things too prematurely, and we speak things too prematurely to the wrong ears. We speak things too prematurely to the people who don't even really have our best intentions at heart, or really have our, what do you want to call it? Our wins, our success, our growth, whatever the case may be, our elevation. They don't really have that sincere joy, happiness, gratitude, excitement for you, because it ain't them. He also says, I learned how to inspire others and how to shift the culture in the workplace. He says, it was very humbling because I started building my brand online and I'd become a Twitter celebrity, but I was still working a full-time job. Tony Gaskin says that my coworkers started to see my tweets and my following online, so they were wondering, why was I still on the job? And it's funny because sometimes people will follow you on social media. They will see how active you are on your LinkedIn, on your YouTube, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your TikTok, on your whatever those other apps are. And they see your visibility because you're showing up in their algorithm. And they think because you have however many thousand likes on a post, or however many thousand responses or subscribers or whatever else you want to call it, they think you're big shot, or they think, oh, you on your way, or they think, oh, if you're doing all of this, why are you still working this job? But it just may not be the time. He said, my coworkers was wondering why I was still on the job. He said the reason was because my season of balance wasn't over. So the reason why you still may be on your job and you still may be trying to work your dream and you're still trying to juggle both is because your season of balance is not over. And not only that, probably because you haven't learned everything that you need to learn in terms of skill to really help you sustain and further grow and scale the entrepreneurship side that you're planning to build and grow on the dream side. So he says, my company started earning twice as much as my job was paying me, but my season still wasn't up. What did I say yesterday about me saying I need to see evidence before I even think about letting go of my job? I need to see significant evidence, not only double, triple, probably more than that, quadruple, to really consistently, for me to really be like, okay, now is the time. So that was another piece of confirmation. That was like, oh, all of this is just confirmation, all in this page for me. He also says that I had to stay put because my foundation needed more firming. Does your foundation need more firming? Does your foundation need more firming? Does the foundation and the dream that you're building need more firming? Is it solid? Because you don't want to build anything on quicksand. You don't want to build anything on sinking sand. You don't want to build anything on sand, period. So you have to make sure that the foundation that you're setting for your dream is going to uphold everything that's going to go on top of it. The heights that y'all see this background, the sky is no limit, baby. It's no limit. So you have to have a solid foundation to be able to handle all of that growth and all of that elevation. Amen. He says that I needed the insurance until I could make enough to pay for outside insurance. These are the things that a lot of us don't think about. Tony Gaskins, before he let that job go, he said, I need to make sure that I am making enough to not only feed my family, but to ensure that insurance and medical coverage is going to be sufficient and can be paid for out of pocket. Because you do know that the price that you pay for insurance is far greater than the price that you pay for insurance while you are with an employee. Come on, because your employer is the one that's eating up most of your benefit costs. I want you to take a look at your compensation package if you work a 9 to 5. I literally want you to pull out your compensation package, because what you get paid is more than your salary. What you get paid is more than what comes into your paycheck. There are so many benefits that sometimes go unused and also go unappreciated because you don't see the dollar value. But I'm going to tell you what will show you the dollar value: that benefit statement, that benefits compensation package. You better look at it. You better look at it, because the rate that you pay for insurance, please know that your employer is taking up probably 80-75% of the difference. Hypothetically. And when you have to pay for insurance on your own, it's a lot more money. It's a lot more money. It's a whole lot more money. So when you go into this entrepreneurship game, you have to think about the full cost. You got to be able to sustain everything: health insurance, life insurance, retirement plans, all of that. Because everything that your job was doing for you, you now have to do for yourself. And understand that the costs are higher. They are higher. And then not only that, there's tax implications. So be grateful and don't be so quick to rush. Count the cost for everything. Count the cost for everything before you take the leap. Before you take the leap. He says, I needed more consistent business. I was just saying that. I was saying all of this yesterday, y'all. I needed more consistent business. He said, I needed more security because I have a family. I said the same exact thing yesterday. I need my security because I have responsibilities. I may not have any children as a family, but I got a mama that I take care of. And I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of me. So I need my security. This is just so much affirmation for me. It's just confirmation for me. He says, I wanted to make sure that my heart was in the right place when I walked away. Ooh, that convicted me. That convicted me. And I showed up happy to work today, by the way. Let me tell y'all that I did. I didn't want to leave because I was tired. Ooh, I wanted to push through the tiredness. I didn't want to leave because I was frustrated. Ooh, I wanted to push through the frustration. I didn't want to leave because I hated my boss. I wanted to leave in a way that my boss could celebrate the success I was stepping into. The job was paid training. I started going to work, listening to gospel music the whole way. I would listen to a gospel song for the first hour or so at work. I had a song on my heart all day. I would go back and forth between gospel music and motivational podcasts. I took control of my spirit, man, and my energy. When I tell you guys, I dropped the pen, I dropped the book, I dropped everything. I got up and ran around this seat real quick. He said that I took control of my spirit, man. And what were we talking about yesterday when I was sharing how sometimes you don't realize it, but you could allow a thing that you may be experiencing, you not wanting to be in a specific space, you being fed up with something, you could allow it to change the way you show up. And when that happens, it's taking control of you as opposed to you taking control of your spirit and your energy. So when he said this was so powerful for me, because I said, I have to remind myself to take control over my spirit, man. And regardless of what is happening, regardless of what's going on, regardless of the frustration, then that means that we cannot allow our environment to change the way that we show up. So even like something that we may see that I just happen to pop over and see, I'm not even going to give that any energy, because it's not serving the right purpose. It's not doing anything to benefit my energy. So as long as I'm staying in control of my spirit, man, and I'm staying in control of my energy, that's the only thing that I can do. Control what you can control. He says, I stopped letting the job dictate my feelings, and I chose peace and happiness. I chose peace and happiness. I appreciated the balance, and it was necessary to my growth. How many of you guys got something out of that? How many of you guys got something out of that? Coach Sheena's here. Hey, Coach Sheena. She says, so that's so true. Coach Sheena, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Come on, Coach Sheena. Let's go. Q Sky says, the reason was because my season of balance wasn't over. Yes, that part stung me as well. Q Sky also says, my grandmother taught me early it's sometimes in our best interest to move in silence. I have a whole testimony around moving in silence. I was very, 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 very big on this. Not saying anything. Keeping it to myself. And when you find out, you find out. When I let you know, I let you know. Because some things are better kept private. And again, you don't know what energies, even if it's not from the person who you're saying it to, you don't know what else is in the atmosphere that may hear it, and that may just put a hamper or a hindrance on that very thing that you're speaking to. So I was very private. I ain't say a word about a lot of things intentionally because of that very, very reason. It's best to move in silence. And I'm glad you said that, because I need to revisit that, because I noticed that I've been sharing a lot more lately than I need to. So share it when it's done, or share it when it's already happening. Amen. Queen Heart says, and we must release ourselves from the need to explain ourselves to everyone. Queen Heart, you're going to make me cry. Why do we always feel like we have to explain ourselves? Why can't we just say no and that be it? Why can't we just say yes and that be it? Everything doesn't warrant an explanation. And the more you explain, the more you are giving of yourself and telling of yourself. And you could potentially be giving away your whole pathway to your protection. You may be giving somebody the key to unlock something within you that could be done in a manipulative way later on. So we don't have to explain everything. Just yes or no. I'm learning that too. I don't have to explain everything. I don't have to give anybody a reason. I don't. Take it how you want. But yeah. Q Scott says, I totally thought about you, so reading pages 70 and 71. Speaking of 71, we're going to jump back into 71. So page 71, he talks about walking away on your terms and not theirs. So if you are someone who is working a job, you have a dream that you're aspiring after, he's saying to make sure that when you walk away, it's because you want to. It's on your terms. It's not because they're forcing you out. It's not because they're getting on your nerves. It's not because you're feeling overworked. It's not because they are pushing you out the door, but you're leaving on your terms. He said, when you know you're ready to leave and you've built enough of a strong foundation to leave, just stay a little bit longer. That was the extra push. So even when you think you're ready, even when you think you've built your foundation, still stay a little bit longer. Once you get to that point, then you need to add on a couple more months, years, whatever that may look like. He says, stay to that point where you can feel the peace because you know that you have something better waiting for you. There is so much bliss in that space. I can't wait to get to that space, y'all. I cannot wait to get to that space. And this lets me know that I got a long way to go. I have a long way to go. I know that the Lord can work miracles. He can turn things around overnight, but I feel like I have a long way to go to get to this space of bliss. He said, let them be confused by your composure. That takes emotional intelligence. That takes complete control over your spirit, man. That takes complete dominance over instant gratification. That requires so much of you to be able to be so composed that it confuses everybody. Tony Gaskins closes out on page 71 saying that you can't work towards your dream without immediately walking away from your day job. You can work towards your dream without immediately walking away from your day job. Trust the process, embrace the tough times, and get every lesson you can along the way. Amen. Get every lesson you can along the way. Everything is training ground. Everything is training ground. Everything is training ground. Queen Lisa H says, I always wondered about health insurance for self-employed. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. And you will be surprised how so many can't afford health insurance as entrepreneurs. So it's a real thing. Q Scott says, good for you, so. I was laughing thinking about how Acacia said she was going to walk into work today. Yeah. Acacia, did you walk in with a smile and hi, Heidi? Did you walk in energized? I worked hard today, y'all. I worked hard. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to do this today. We're going to do this today. Amen. And that's the power of gratitude, and how gratitude and having that intentional state of gratitude can shift your whole mental energy. It gives you a whole nother level of boost. You know, I don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, today was good. Today was good for me. Today was good. Thank you, Q Scott. Acacia says, me. Same, Q Scott. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Yep. Tracy Ann, we know. It's been taken care of. Let's go. Okay, Tracy Ann says, this part touched me. I start back to work and school tomorrow, and I'm excited. I have a whole new set of goals this school year, and I want to make more connections with the kids, mainly the girls. Come on, Tracy Ann. Shout out to Tracy Ann. Tracy Ann is also in the school system. She is a teacher as well. And we thank you and support you for all that you do, because I know it's a lot trying to work in a classroom with these kids nowadays. But we are uplifting you and sending you positive vibes and reminding you to walk in with gratitude and walk in about thinking about the lives that you can be able to change, these young females, these young girls. I'm not sure what grade you teach, but with whichever connections you're able to make with the kids, because that one connection that you can make with them is something that they may not be getting at home. So I just want to thank you for what you do. And I want to pray an extra layer of protection, an extra layer of strength, pray an extra layer of just encouragement to continue to make it through this school year, this new school year, and that it be the best school year ever, not only for you, but for the children who get to learn from you and to be under your teaching and your guidance. So shout out to you, Tracy Ann, all the way from the West Side. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful Tracy Ann. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Amen. Okay. If you're new here, not only do we review powerful authors' literary works on this channel, we also aid in reaching to your full potential. Consider joining the channel because Sophia also provides daily tools, tips, and knowledge to get your finances in check. Amen. Thank you so much, Q Scott, for that. Thank you so much for that. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, you guys, if you're new. Amen. Walk in like Chuck E. Cheese meat, please. Come on, Acacia. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. So let's jump into chapter 7, and then we're going to close out. Perfect timing because we only have about 2.5 pages to cover for chapter 7. Chapter 7 was the one-man show. And this was powerful because he talked about defining team. And I just want to ask you for your own recollection. How do you define a team? How do you define a team? I thought it was powerful how he defined team, because he says that he defines a team as a group of people that you hire to help you reach your goals. A team is a very tricky thing because there are different levels of help. First, you have professionals who will only help you if they're paid. Then you have interns who will help you for free, but they're learning about the business and their help may not be very helpful. Then you have friends and family who will help you, but they may also feel like they own you or a part of you. Then you have the partner who believes in you and what you're doing and will help you from the ground up for a payday down the road. Any of those team members could be your worst nightmare or become your sweetest dreams. Can we talk about this for 1 second? Because I'm thinking about in prior years, and this was before the Debt Demolisher was even officially birthed. Thinking about those who may have had business endeavors, those who may have been family, friends, or like he said, partners, people you may have been dating, people who you have known for a very long time and just want to be able to support or be there. I don't think we realize how taxing it can be on others who is trying to support or be there and be on the team, quote unquote. This just took me back to a memory. Lord, I don't even know if I want to talk about this, but quote unquote team. And sometimes because a person has a dream, has a vision, they're so adamant about it, they're really not taking into consideration the sacrifice of everybody else that is contributing to this dream. And it's one thing to say that people are only doing it to get a payout down the road. No, that may not always be the case. In some cases it is, but in some cases that's not. In some cases, however, the people who are supporting, the people who are helping and being on the team could feel like they're being taken advantage of, or they feel like they could be taken for granted, or they could feel like I'm doing all of this when I could be using my energy to be doing something else. but still doing it from the space of, I want to see you win. And when Tony Gaskins talked about this, it reminded me too of how sometimes we could put an expectation, we could put a requirement, even in some cases, we could put a demand on somebody who was in our family, on somebody who we're dating, on somebody who we are best friends with, someone who we've had a long relationship with, whatever the case may be, and expect them to help them move forward. And I remember when I started my first network marketing business, and this was back in 2016, I believe. I think it was. And they would go through this process of telling you to make a list of everybody that you know, make a list of all your friends, your family, your this, your that, your this, your that. And I would oftentimes feel like some type of way. I mean, I did it because that's what they said to do, just make a list and just reach out and just ask. And oftentimes people would either buy whatever it was that you had out of support. But what I learned is that the support are not necessarily your clients. The support is not necessarily your customers. And you shouldn't put an expectation on your family and friends to do a certain thing, to buy from you, to this, to that, just out of the sake of support. Because essentially, your job as a business owner is to meet a need, and it's to meet a viable need. So if you are doing a service, or if you are selling something, if you are only marketing to your family and your friends, then that's not really a true market, because they're doing it from a space of support and not necessarily out of space of, I want and I need what you have. So I think that's the biggest revelation that I feel like I've learned in my journey too, because I don't consider myself an entrepreneur because I'm not doing this full time, and it's not my only way of earning. But I learned that it's imperative to, when you start a business, whatever you want your entrepreneurship journey to be, that you identify your market and you know how to find who actually needs and wants what you offer and what you are selling. Because when you go through the space of putting an expectation on your family, on your friends, on your this, on your that, and when they stop, because they were never really your customer to begin with, you're going to feel some type of way. So it's imperative. It is imperative to really be honest in your business endeavor and ensure that whatever you create, whatever you put out there, whatever you do, that those who want it will be the one to get it, and will be the one to use it, and will be the one to refer because of their experience of whatever it is that you're delivering. So I learned that my family is not my customers. I learned that my friends are not my customers. I've learned that your significant other is not your customer, and vice versa, unless it is truly something that they offer that you need. And once you get into that state of mind, you won't harbor any frustration, any angst, any upset about what people may do or not do as it relates to your business, because they ain't your client. They are not your customer in the first place. So go and find your customer. Go and find your customer. So he says on page 74, let me put the quote of the day up. Quote of the day was powerful. He says that you can't expect someone to understand your grind if God didn't give them your vision. You can't expect other people to understand how hard you work, how hard you commit to your clients, how hard you commit to professional development to help you learn and grow in whatever field you're in, how hard you work in creating YouTube content, how hard you work in editing your videos, how hard you work in writing your books, how hard you work in just whatever it is. We can't expect them to understand why you stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning, why you stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to do X, Y, and Z, why you work 30 and 40 hours on top of the 40 hours that you already work on your 9 to 5. We can't expect anyone else to understand our grind if God did not give them the vision that God placed in you. I remember one time years ago when my mom was here with me, and this was just when I was just getting into this space of teaching and facilitating and actually turning the very thing that I was doing into a business because of this business coaching program that I was in. And I remember working on this business plan and doing all of this and just sharing. And then I got invited to be a participant at a summit. And I remember being up because I had to get the summit done. I had to get my slides done for the summit. I had to get my YouTube video recorded for that time because this was around the time I had just started my YouTube channel. And I was putting videos out every week at that time. So it was once a week back then when I started. And I remember I had to work. Then we had the class. We had the training, the coaching call. It's like 2.5 hours. Then I had to get my video done. And then I had to work on my slides. And I remember it was like, by the time I was wrapping up, it was probably like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was still in here working. And my mom got up in the middle of the night or whatever. I guess she went to the bathroom. And she saw that the light in this room was still on. So she peeped her head in the door. And she said, "Oh, you're still up working?" I said, "Yes, Mom, I'm still up working." I said, "I got to finish a couple of things, but I'll be finished soon," because I had to go to work the next day. And this was when we were actually not in a pandemic state. So I literally had to go out the door and get in the building the next day. And she said to me, she just stopped and she just looked. And she looked at me. And before she closed the door, she said, "I really hope that you are successful in this because you work really hard." And then I said, "Thank you, Mom." And then she pulled the door shut and she went back to bed. But that is something that I'm always going to remember, because that was a reminder of me of a grind moment. It was 2 o'clock in the morning and I still wasn't done. I don't even remember what time I went to bed, but I know that I had to be up within a couple of hours so that I can get ready and get to work, get to my 9 to 5. But I'll always remember what my mom said. I'll always remember the look on her face. I will always remember what she said to me. And how even though she wasn't questioning the grind, she had hope for me because she saw my grind. And her only hope for her only daughter was that I be successful in whatever I am committing so much time to, that I am committing so much diligence to. So there may be people like my mom in your life, or there may be people that are not like that. They may have a questioning spirit, like, why are you up doing this? Or why are you up doing that? Like the examples that he gave inside of this chapter. Why? You might as well just get that up. There are people who will speak that over your life. And that is the kind of response that you need to have when that comes up. You can't expect someone to understand your grind if God didn't give them your vision. So whatever people have to say, you have to dismiss it because it ain't their vision, it's yours. And also, we have to be careful of what we share to people, because they may speak the very thing over you that is opposite of what you're yearning after. So a little bit further down on page 74, he says, there's only one person who can see your vision, and that is you. You are the only person that can see your vision. He said that doesn't mean that you have to be a tyrant or a dictator, but it does mean that you have to be very careful about who you add to your team and whether you need a team at all. Tony Gaskin says that he's had people who were paid weekly, but he considered them seasonal employees, not team members. He says a team implies that everyone is an equal contributor and everyone has equal say-so. Even if that's not how you have your team set up, it could easily end up that way. Page 75, he says, if you were meant to stand alone or build a personal brand, then a team has to take on a new meaning for you. He says, do not hinder your progress or implode your business by paying boatloads of money to people who are only collecting a paycheck. Make sure that you don't hire a full team just to look successful or to appear to be doing big things. You have no idea how many times we hear that same thing: hire a team, hire a team, hire a team, or hire someone to do that. But do you even know what you're telling them to do? Before you could bring someone in to fulfill a role, you would have at least have to know what that role will entail, so that way you can identify what your level of expectations are. So many people say, oh, you should hire someone to run your social media. I don't know if I would do that. I think it depends on what you're selling and what you're doing. I think it depends on what you do. You could be able to decipher what to outsource and what not to outsource. And then making sure whatever you're outsourcing is actually lucrative and is a value add and has that cost versus benefit output where the benefit is greater than the cost. Because sometimes we could do things because someone said to do it, but it's not really adding any value to our bottom line. So if you hire someone to do a specific thing, what's the ROI on that? And then how will you set your parameters in place to say, okay, if I don't see an ROI within this, then it's time to cut this cost. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to rack up these costs, and there's nothing to supplement and offset the expense that's going out the door. So if we could literally evaluate every single expense that you have and see how is it actually generating income for you, then especially when it comes to outsourcing, I'm specifically speaking towards outsourcing, then that can make a huge difference in determining whether or not you actually need a team or you need support in that area or not. Or it could be that, it's just not the right person. Or you might not even need support in that area because it's not generating any return. He also says, if you're the brains behind your brand, and if you are your brand, then you may not need a team right away. Tony Gaskins continues on by saying, I'm not against having teams, so don't get me wrong. I'm just against having a team when you don't need one or having a team for the wrong reasons. So we're going to continue to read through chapter 7, One Man Show. Tony Gaskins always talks about in his videos. If you're not subscribed to Tony Gaskins' channel, make sure that you subscribe. Links are in the description box of this video. But he always talks about how he built his entire business on his own and how he just recently started hiring independent contractors to support him in various things. And it's not really like a long-term kind of thing, but he literally runs his entire business. Literally. And he's done it for years. And again, it depends on what you do, because whatever your business idea or business endeavor is, it may require more than one person. It may be too much for you just to handle alone. So that's why he's saying, I'm not against having teams. I'm not against having a team. He said he's not against having teams. He's just against having teams when you don't need one or having a team for the wrong reason. So just make sure whatever your endeavors are when it comes to your business, that you don't just jump and do whatever somebody says because they say, do this. You really want to weigh it all and make sure that whoever you can bring on can actually fulfill the role and not put too many heavy expectations on people. Like I remember when I was helping people with things, I would do a whole lot because y'all know I'm an accountant. I'm all about compliance. I know how to read all of the stuff that people don't want to read, the instructions, 400-page manuals, and I know how to look for stuff. And I know how to find, I know how to research, I know how to figure out, okay, yeah, this is what you need. You need X, Y, and Z to be compliant. Very organized about that kind of stuff. And I remember I was helping a particular person with the launch of a business. I'm just going to say a business. And it was a lot. It was a lot to do all of that, to do all of the tracking, to do all of the filling out of the forms, to write all of the letters, to track the money, to do this, to open the accounts, to all of that. Wasn't getting paid a dime. Wasn't looking to be paid a dime. It was really for, this is what you want. And I just want to be able to help support you get to whatever that is that you say that you want. But to my own detriment, because I was putting somebody else's goals and desires and dreams before my own. Then I realized I was being taken advantage of. Then I realized I had to pull the plug. Then I realized I was like, oh no, never again. Never again. But that's how it be. Because even if you have someone who is helping you or is wanting to support you, I think it's important to acknowledge that in a way and be mindful of what they may already have on their plate and how they're trying to assist you. And, just be mindful of that. And for those of us who are givers and who are always wanting to help and pour in, and it's okay to reel back some. it's okay to reel back some, because before you know it, you could be completely exhausted. And that's exactly the state that I was in. I was like, hold on. Doing all of this, and then somebody else reaping off the benefit. Again, not to say that it was for a payout down the line, but just thinking, like, wow, wasn't really appreciated. None of that, because people are just thinking about what they want. They just thinking about what they want and what their dreams are and what their goals are. So that's how it be sometimes. That's how it be. Queen Lisa A says, "Hey, Queen D. Queen D, is Divinity here?" Yes, she is. Queen Divinity is in the room. Hey, Queen Divinity, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. I know you've been shaking it on the dance floor. Shaking it on the dance floor. Queen Divinity, shake. Get it on the dance floor. Queen Divinity, hey, let's go, Queen Divinity. I'm so glad that you are here. Come on. Let's go. Yep, here's the link to Tony Gaskin. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, please. Queen Q Sky also says, set your alarm for Saturday. Yes, we have our budget with me, 8 a.m. this Saturday. Make sure that you join us. Queen Hart says, it has to make sense and contribute to efficiency and expansion, not the appearance. Queen Hart, you better say it. Dublin Girl is in the room, says, yes, thank God for the replays. Hey, Dublin Girl, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. And thank you once again for your compliments on my driving. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Queen Hart says, thank God for deliverance. I used to break down my business plan to anyone who questioned me. I've since developed confidence and don't even correct their misconceptions. Come on. Queen Hart, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all are getting it in. This is so great. The Greatness album rang in my ears on that one. Yes, indeed. Acacia says, if you need more budgeting tools, recommend it. It's the comprehensive monthly budget versus actual. Yes, make sure that you grab your template if you're looking for a template that can give you all of the calculations and the updates that you need for your budgeting so that you can change your allocations around. Exactly. Their support naturally can only go but so far. Got to expand your exposure. Yeah. We got to expand our exposure beyond our friends and family. Amen. Terms and conditions. Let's go. Coach Sheena says, way to go, Tracy Ann. You got this. God is with you. Amen. Yes, indeed. Okay, everybody, we are going to go ahead and wrap up for this evening. Let me go over and share what the reading assignment is for tomorrow to give you guys a heads up. So the reading assignment will be picking up on page 76, and we will go all the way to, I lost my page. I had it in here. Paper went. Did I take it out? Okay, no, I did. 82. So we're going to read all the way from 76 to 82. So we're going to read from 76 to 82. So that means we'll finish up chapter 7, the one-man show, and then that will take us into the opening of chapter 8. No, I'm wrong. No. Sorry, you guys. I'm wrong. We'll still be in the one-man show. So we'll go from 76 to 82, and we're still in chapter 7, the one-man show. So that'll be our reading. No, I'm sorry, you guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 83. Forgive me. 83. So we're going to go up to page 83. So from pages 76 to 83 is going to be our reading assignment, and we'll still be in chapter 7 of the book. And if you have the audio book, you can stop where you will hear him say either way it works, I'll be taken care of because I'm doing the work my heart desires to do. And there's more to life than money. The money will come. So when you hear that, you can pause, and then we'll be able to continue on during day 9. No, we'll be able to continue on for day 10. But day 9, that's our reading assignment. That's our reading assignment. That's our reading assignment. That is our reading assignment. And we shall pick up tomorrow. We'll pick up tomorrow. We have a special day tomorrow. It's Acacia's birthday. So please, everybody, make sure that you guys come back so that we can have a good old celebration for Acacia. I'm so looking forward to us celebrating her. Thank you, Q Scott, for putting the page assignment up, pages 76 to 83. Blessed night, everyone. Make sure that you come back. Tracy Ann says that this is a great session tonight. Amen. Divinity says, I'm inviting my cousin to join us one day. Yes, please do. Please do. Please have her join us. Please, or he or she have them join us. Amen. Sasha is here. Oh my gosh, that's my P2P sister, y'all. My P2P sister done slid in here. So glad that you're here, Sasha. She said, good night, sis. I just saw this on my feed. Oh, thank you. So that means the algorithm is working. Amen. Amen. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. You see the algorithm working. My P2P sister then came in here and she said she saw me in the feed. Thank you so much, Sasha, for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. What'd I do? Hold on. Did I do something? Oh. No, Tracy Ann, I'm about to fix this. I was trying to. Okay, I'm getting ready to fix this right now. It must have jumped when I was trying to change the thing. Let me do it right now. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Oh, what I do? Lord have mercy. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Acacia took care of it. Woo, praise you the Lord, child. I don't know what I'm over here doing. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Acacia. Shout out to Acacia and Q Scott for holding us down, for moderating. She done saved this, Tracy Ann. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. Tracy Ann, if you can comment. Let us know if you're back, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Acacia. Thank you. Okay, so thank you to Acacia and Q Scott for holding us down, moderating tonight's live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. We have to make sure that we give Acacia and Q Scott our gratitudes and thank yous, and come back tomorrow. So that way we can celebrate our very own Acacia tomorrow. So thank you. Yes, Tracy Ann. That was an accident. But you're back, so you can comment. So that's all that matters. Praise you, the Lord. Okay, you guys, I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Get to work. All right, you guys. Good night. See you tomorrow.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē.